Hey, I'm here to share with you what I consider a Rhema word that I received this week. This chapter in Second Timothy 3, it talks about the last days and the attitudes, characteristics, traits of people, behaviors that is going to come out of, be displayed. It's going to be reality, a fact in the last days. Growing up, the teachings that I received regarding Second Timothy 3, the beginning verses, focus on these negative traits and qualities to look out for. But it never really focused on the last verse, verse 5, that talks about people having a form of religion but denying its power. That's the NIV translation, I believe. There's another translation, the Message Bible translation, that says persons will have a show of religion, okay, but act like animals when no one's looking, or act like animals behind the scenes. The Message Bible in verse 4 talks about persons being addicted to lust but allergic to God. That's another way of saying um, loving lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God. That's another translation. Okay. So it's good to compare some translation because you get lots of clarity, all right, on the subject matter. But when I want to talk about, help you understand of what I came to understand in verse 5 of Second Timothy 3, is that are we our worst enemy? Are we being admonished to avoid ourselves, run from ourselves? Because if we have any of these traits, okay, being self-assuming, haughty, prideful, deceitful, etc. It's a plethora. You'll have to read the whole first 5 verses. Or is God telling you to avoid yourself? That you are the bad company? That that you are the person that this verse 5 is talking about? Because if you are a lover of pleasure rather than a lover of God, that means that anything you do that's pleasurable and comes before God is wrong, and such person should be avoided. Whether it is, I love getting drunk, I love obscene language, I love violent music or movies, I love taking chances, gambling, um, or what do they call it, games of chance, whether I love promiscuity, immoral behavior, theft or thievery, okay, whether I love money, okay, the love of money, the love of wanting and to have more insatiably, being greedy, whatever your pleasure is that you have set upon high as an idol above the Lord, what you put before the Lord. Whether you put your family above the Lord, you know your family is bad company, but yet you're like, well, it's my family, it's my best friend. Yes, they are leading me astray. I should not be associating with this person. If I choose to have a pure relationship with the Lord, but yet you're like, but I'm going to stay with them. I'm going to keep them as a friend. I'm going to continue to listen to their music. I'm going to continue to watch that movie because it's pleasurable. This is how I enjoy myself. This is how I relax. This is how I have a good time. I take shots. Okay. I drink all the time. And when I drink, I become belligerent, I become angry, I maybe start fights, get physical, get aggressive, or maybe curse people out, or perhaps say things that hurt people. Okay. Whether you have children and you got someone pregnant or multiple people pregnant, you walked away from your children, you walked away from assisting the person that you had children with because it's easier, because it's more pleasing to you, to the lifestyle that you want. But then God said that's the wrong way. God said, Father, train up your child in the way they should go. Day and night, when you're walking on the street, when you're lying down, train your child according to the ways of the Lord. But then you walk away. How is that pleasing to God? That's completely in opposition to God's instructions and His word. So, what you find pleasing, is it opposed to God's will? Is it opposed to loving God? Because the Bible is saying, stay away from such a person. Are you that person? Do you have to avoid yourself? Obviously, you can't jump out your own skin or escape yourself until the end, until your final breath, until your last day above ground on earth. Okay, until you have passed away. If the rapture has not yet come, but if if it's factual that you can do that, being alive, then that would require change. That would require that you do something different because you can't escape yourself. But to follow God's command, His word, the Bible, you're going to have to avoid such a person who is you. So avoid the behaviors that you do in order to not be that person God is telling you to get away from. I know it sounds tricky, but it's true. And the truth can hurt, it can be painful, it can sting. I'm not a perfect person. I'm not judging anyone. I just want to help lead others in the right direction as I rely on the Lord to lead me. And I do admonish that you rely on the Lord also to lead you. The Lord also help us lead each other through His Spirit and through the Rhema word. That's what I wanted to share with you today. Go and meditate on those verses, 2 Timothy 3, 1 through 5, particularly 5. Okay. Thanks for listening. Till the next one. Take care. Bye.